Hey everybody, not too long ago I did an Atlas unboxing video where I showed you two of their new 3-rail O-scale locomotives, an SD40-2 and an F40PH. And although we quickly looked at them and gave them a quick spin around the layout, we didn't dive into them very much at all. So today we're going to take a closer look at the new Atlas 3-rail O-scale F40PH diesel in this beautiful Amtrak paint scheme, and it's coming up right now on Eric's Trains. Now, I've reviewed the Lionel F40PH locomotive before, and in that video I went over some history of the real F40PH. I'll put a link to it if you want to watch that video, but I'll go over a quick history of the F40PH in this video as well. So the EMD F40PH is a 4-axle diesel-electric locomotive built by General Motors Electromotive Division in several variants from 1975 to 1992. Capable of producing up to 3,200 horsepower, they were intended for use on Amtrak's short-haul passenger routes. However, they became the backbone of Amtrak's diesel fleet after the failure of the EMD SDP-40F. The F40PH also found widespread use on commuter railroads in the U.S. and with Via Rail in Canada. Amtrak retired its fleet of F40PHs in the early 2000s in favor of the GE P42 Genesis, but the locomotive remains the mainstay of Via Rail's long-distance trains. The F40PHs are still a common sight on many other commuter railroads throughout the U.S. In addition, Amtrak has kept 22 of its F40PHs in use as non-powered control units. Alright, so in hand, this model feels pretty nice. ABS plastic, die-cast metal, and sheet metal construction. It's got a very reassuring weight. Let's get some stats on it. So the length is right at 14 inches. And let's get a weight. 4 pounds, 5 ounces, not bad. I tested the pulling power of this locomotive off camera, and it came in right at 2 pounds, which is very good for something this size, right where it should be. And the minimum curve needed to operate this locomotive is 0.31, which means it's going to be very friendly to layouts with tight curves. Now, Atlas offered this model in their Winter 21-22 catalog, and these finally arrived a couple months ago here in the spring of 2023. Although this is a 3-rail O-scale model, they also offered these in 2-rail, and they did 4 road names: Amtrak, MBTA, Metro North, and New Jersey Transit. For Amtrak, they did Phase 3 and Phase 4 paint schemes. The Phase 4 is what we have here, and there were 2 road numbers available for each paint scheme. And then for MBTA, Metro North, and New Jersey Transit, each of those also got 2 road numbers. Now, I could have bought any road name or road number, but I chose Amtrak 404 because I really like the number 404. I'm from the Atlanta area, and anybody who is from Atlanta or grew up here especially will tell you the significance of the number 404. But just in case you don't know, when I was a kid here in the Atlanta area, there was just one telephone area code, 404. Now, over the years, the city has grown by leaps and bounds, and now I think there's 5 or 6 area codes. But to me, 404 has always been the sort of OG Atlanta area code. And so over the years, no matter where I've lived in the Atlanta area or how many cell phones I've had or whatnot, I've always had a 404 phone number because, it's kind of a thing. If you're really from Atlanta, you'll have a 404 number. I suppose if you're really from New York City, you get a 212 number, that sort of thing. Now, the real Amtrak 404 has nothing to do with the Atlanta area code, obviously. It's just a coincidence, but when I saw it, I had to have it. However, I might also get the New Jersey Transit version because not only does it look really cool, but also my girlfriend Lisa really likes that one. Now, because this is an XMTH model, on the inside it's got Protosound 3.0, and so any of you that are used to operating MTH locomotives with PS3, the operation of this thing is exactly the same. So this model is loaded with lots of intricate detailing, despite the fact that on its surface it kind of looks like a boring, unexciting diesel, but that's not the case at all. So here on the Pilot, you can see we've got a plow attachment. That is packaged separately in the box when you buy the locomotive, and you can attach it via a couple of Phillips head screws, as I've done. In the middle, we've got the big electro coupler, and then behind the plow, we've got a coupler cut bar and several MU hoses, and you can see we've got some nice step detail as well. Up on the nose, we've got operating ditch lights on the corners and an operating headlight in the middle, lots of metal grab irons all over the place, and sand fill caps on the hood. We've got add-on plastic windshield wipers on the windows, lighted number boards. operating marker lights, and this white light in the middle that turns on when the engine goes in reverse, which is kind of cool. You can see that the die-cast metal truck side frames on this locomotive are very nicely done with some wire details and so forth. Here in the center of the locomotive, the fuel tank area is really one of my favorite spots on this model. It looks amazing. So we've got the fuel tank itself with hand-painted details, and then look at all these intricate piping details and so forth going to these tanks. Just looks incredible. And then above that, we've got the nice Amtrak, and look at all this great vent detail, especially back here, these fine wire mesh vents. They look amazing. And on the back side, you can see some of the safety tread on the walkways, lots of metal grab irons once again, a nice porthole window in the rear door, an operating backup light, and operating marker lights. Oh, and of course, metal handrails and a nice metal safety chain. And then on the rear pilot, we don't have a plow attachment like we do up front, so you can get a better view of the coupler cut bar and all those MU hoses. On the top of the F40PH, you can see a nice looking horn and more metal grab irons. Then we've got the AC unit, I assume, and some nice metal lift rings back here. Moving back, we've got the smokestack, and down in there is the fan-driven smoke unit. And as always, to load smoke fluid into the smoke unit, you simply pour the smoke fluid directly down the stack. And you can see we've got some more metal grab irons behind the stack, and then this nice fan unit up here. And then toward the rear, we've got lots more metal lift rings and 3 more fans. And inside each of these fans is a free-moving fan blade. And this back panel can be removed to reveal the master controls for the locomotive. So we've got 2 adjustable pots for the volume and the smoke. And then we've got a switch to go between DCS and DCC, and 2-rail and 3-rail operation. Obviously for 3-rail, I'm going to leave it in DCS and 3-rail. And here's a look at the underside of the F40PH. We've got 4 pickup rollers, 2 per truck for good center rail contact. All axles on this locomotive are driven. There are 2 traction tires on the inner axle of each truck for a total of 4. And here in the middle, you can see the speaker for the sound system. All right, the last thing we're going to do before we start this thing up is BFIMO. You know, I was kind of challenged to pick something for BFIMO for the F40PH because, let's face it, it's not the most exciting locomotive in the world. It's not a big boy or anything like that. But really, when I keep coming back to this locomotive, what hits me is the build quality. It is so well made. Nice detail all over the place, got a great weight. I mean, it's just a super high quality model that certainly carries over from when MTH was making it. And it's great that Atlas has picked up where MTH left off and continued to make this a very high quality model. So yeah, just a great model overall. All right, let's go ahead and fire this thing up, and I will use the extended startup sequence.
Topped off. All right, I'll check that out. Sand bins are topped off. She's in good shape. Thanks.
All right, so here's the horn. And this does have a quilling horn, so let's check that out. And here's the bell. And this model also has great crew talk sounds. You've heard some of them, but I'll save the rest for when we do the PFA announcement sequence while it's running. All right, so I've got 8 Lionel Amtrak passenger cars behind this F40PH. Let's move it out.
Shore Limited. This stop is Albany Rensselaer.
Have a good one.
You too.
Let me grab that for you.
Thank you. Excuse me, sir. You dropped something.
Thank you. Excuse me, do you know what time it is?
10:35.
Now departing for Waterloo on track 1. Train number 49, the Lake Shore Limited.
Pardon me. Hurry up now.
Let me grab that for you. Tickets out, folks. All aboard! Careful on the steps now.
Hurry up. We're gonna miss our train.
How'd she run? She ran great. Take care. See you soon.
All right, there you have it, the new Atlas 3-rail O-scale F40PH locomotive, a beautiful model with impeccable build quality. I love this thing. I'm really glad I picked one up. If you want to get one for yourself, the retail price was right at $620, although if you go through a good Atlas dealer, you'll likely be able to get a little bit of a discount off that full retail price. So for more info, contact your favorite Atlas dealer or go to Atlas directly at shop.atlasrr.com. If you'd like to support this channel, I would greatly appreciate it. That can be done through Patreon at patreon.com/ericstrains. Patreon supporters get access to all sorts of perks and benefits, and you can read about those benefits on my Patreon page. I'd like to put a big thank you out there to all of my current Patreon supporters. Your support means the world, not only to me, but to the future of this channel. And a super extra big thank you goes out to my premium tier Patreon supporters. You'll see their names listed at the end of this video. And lastly, if you'd like to buy some Eric's Trains merchandise, t-shirts, cups, cell phone cases, all that kind of stuff, if you look underneath this video, you'll see a listing of some of the items for sale. If you click on those, it'll take you to my online store, and you can purchase whatever you want. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. That's going to do it for now. I'm Eric Siegel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.